Good afternoon, students. Welcome to your 2022 academic year. We will be doing our presentations for your assignment and your examination for the year 2022. The assignments that is due for January 2022 and June 2022. And then your assignment, your examination papers that you'll be dealing with. Once again, welcome to Policing Law 1B. That will be the subject that we'll be dealing with now. I'm Master Tamarep, I'm your tutor. The contact details as indicated on the slide, the telephone number and the email address. My contact hours are between 6 and 2000 hours. It was a challenging year, 2021, and then we move over to 2022. As much as you are progressing in your studies, and some of you enroll for the first time at AOL, I just wanted to say welcome. All that I wanted to remind you or warn you is that COVID-19 is here to stay with us, so we need to stay cool under the COVID-19 regulations and keep on washing your hands and keeping your distance if we wanted to keep our families safe. The outline of our presentation, our examination structure, we'll be looking at the examination preparation tips, we'll be looking at continuous assessment. That is very much important for you to know. We'll be looking at our examination structure, the preparation, and what you need to prepare for during the examination. Assignment structure, answer all the questions. The questions will range from 2 to 20 marks. All questions in the assignment are from the content in the study material provided by AOL. A total mark of 120 is for this subject because it's a 12-credit subject. Your assignment writing. Once you register, you are provided of study material. In your case, perhaps you will register for 5 or 6 subjects and you will be given study material for all those subjects. Now you need to get yourself ready. You need to change your mindset from the one that you were on the street to the one to be a student now. So before you start doing your assignment, you need to read through, make time to read through all your tutorial letters that is accompanying your assignments to see what is required from you. You need to read through your assignment. You need to make notes of what is required in the assignment before you even start doing your assignment or before you go to your library, your IOL resource center, or maybe the main library, or maybe you had some family at NAST or UNAM where you can request it to obtain books for you. So before you do that, you need to sit down with your models, the specific models that you wanted to address. You make notes. And based on your notes, you look at what type of material you will need. Is what I'm having in the study guide sufficient to answer the questions? Do I need some consultations of the officers on the ground because it's a policing course? Do I need to visit the training college of the police and perhaps discuss with the instructors that side on matters that is addressed in the assignment? Whatever, that should be your preparation before you start off your assignment. So students should read the question paper carefully before answering or starting with the assignment. You are not limited to the study guide only, but may consult any other relevant supplementary source for information. Collect all relevant study material that you will need in preparation for the assignment. The better you prepare, the better marks you score in your assignment. Look at what is required from you in the question paper, like whether it requested you to discuss, whether it requested you to name. Some, they will say, list the functions of the force. Now, the force is having 5 functions, you list them. But if the question comes like, discuss the functions of the Namibian police force, then you can't be expecting 5. Now, maybe they will be say, okay, one of the functions is to investigate crime. How do they investigate crime? Now you discuss it. It might be allocated maybe 10 or 15 marks because it's a 5 functions. Maybe they will say discuss the 5 functions of the Namibian police, and also provide practical examples. Now you will say, discuss investigation. What is investigation? Namibian police are mandated to investigate all crime or alleged crime. How do they investigate? Maybe you look at that one. They need to consult the complainants or those citizens that is victims of crime, inquire from them what happened, and then whatever they hear from them, they follow up, taking statements, creating a file, compiling a file of all the evidence and submit to the case. Then you give maybe like an incident of accident that took place at whatever place, where they need to investigate to determine who is the guilty party and provide that evidence to the court. So you look at that and look at what is it that the question requested you to do. If the question says, list the functions of the Namibian police, you said they are here to safeguard the internal security of the country, they are here to protect life, they are here to protect, maintain law and order, they are there to prevent crime, they are there to investigate crime, and then you list the 5 of them. So that's fine, you list it. So they allocate you 5 points, or maybe they said only 2, and then they give you 2 points. You look at whatever is the question requiring you. When you prepare to answer an assignment, try by all means to summarize the information you obtain from books, journals, or internet. Do not copy from the source. That should be the constitution or maybe the study guide or wherever you get the information from. Don't copy it. Try by all means to summarize. Assignment preparation and writing tips. Do not copy your study guide, as the guide should only assist you in understanding the subject matter. Once you read the guide on the functions of the Namibian police force, you must be able to understand and know. This is the reason why the Namibian police force was established. It's to do ABCD. That should be the understanding you should gain from the study guide once reading the study guide. Now you look at, although the police are mandated to perform these certain functions, how are they performing these functions in community? Now you look at there in the street where I stay, maybe 2 houses from where we stay, there was a housebreaking. Now you look at, consult those people, say, you know, the other day you had a housebreaking here. How did the police serve you? So the person will maybe narrate whatever happens, and then they will tell you that, no, since we report the incident, the police were here, they come and take statements from us, they come and do fingerprinting in our house, they take serial numbers from the TV that was stolen, and then they said they will circulate the TV. Maybe the TV is circulated, you find that, no, there at the roadblock in Windhoek, this TV was found, and that we were called to come and identify the TV, the suspects were arrested. Whatever the issue is, maybe that person relates to you, and then you say, okay, so the investigation function that the police are dealing with these activities. That's the understanding you should draw from reading more, consulting other people. That places you in a better position to answer your assignment. Provide practical examples to demonstrate your understanding of the subject matter. So once somebody relates maybe something like this to you, what he or she experienced, if you are not fortunate to experience something like that, maybe that will place you in a better position to be able to answer the questions. Now, we'll look at our continuous assessment. What is continuous assessment? Continuous assessment, it's the marks you obtain from the work done through the year. Now, through the year, what is it that you are doing? IOL, unfortunately, only provides you one assignment that counts 120 marks for this subject, Policing Law B. So you need to attend to this assignment, and then whatever mark you obtain from that assignment will be divided by 12, and this will be multiplied by 10 to give you 100%. Because the question paper is more than 100, so you need to work it back to 100% for it to give you the percentage that you obtain through the assignment. So this is a 12 credit subject that counts 120 marks. So the marks obtained will be calculated as follows to give you the final or the year mark. That will be now your continuous assessment mark. So the mark obtained, it's like you obtain 90, or maybe you obtain 75. It will be divided by 12 times 10. So at the end of the day, maybe you get 75 out of 100. So that 75 now allows you to write exam, because you need to have 50% continuous assessment mark for you to be allowed or admitted to the exam. If you get less than 50%, you will not be admitted to the exam, meaning that you will not write the exam on the model. So continuous assessment, a final pass mark of 50 is required in your examination. Now for you to pass or to write the exam, through your years' hard work, you need to obtain more than 50%, or either at least 50%, to be allowed to go into the exam. Now after you write the exam is also requiring you to obtain at least a sub-minimum of 50% in the exam for you to pass. I hope we are clear on this one. You need to understand this one, that because students will call you for this. They will always call you and ask you that, no, but I did get maybe 49 or whatever, but when I get my results, I failed. So I don't understand how people are calculating this and what. My simple request to you is that take note of this. You need to have 50% sub-minimum attained in your examination to regard yourself as somebody who passed. If, for instance, your continuous assessment mark is 15, and in your examination, after the examination is calculated, maybe you got 30. Now 15 plus 30 gives you 45. That means that you did not attain a 50% sub-minimum, so you fail. And then you don't blame anybody if you fail, because you fail to get good marks in your assignment, and as a result, you can't make it. Now your continuous assessment is calculated on 40%. Your examination is calculated on 60%, because in total it must be 100%. Now if you get 100 out of 100 in your assignment, your continuous assessment mark will be 40. If you get 100 out of 100 in your examination and your continuous assessment is calculated on 60, the same, it will be 50. So if the two is counted together, you will get 100% in your exam. So your final mark will be 100%. Are we clear on that one? I hope we are clear, because this is what will count. Now the other important one is your examination. For 12 credit subject, you need to write 2.5 hours. That's 2 hours and 30 minutes for a 120 mark examination. Now in this paper, you answer all the questions. There is no choosing except the short questions that is like 1 point. But there is nothing like, I will choose question 1 and leave question 2. You will be required to do all the questions in the paper. So question paper, there will be long questions, and those long questions will be ranging from 3 to 15 marks. The short questions will be ranging from 2 to 3, including multiple choice, where you will be choosing the correct answer between given answers. Like maybe you are given 3 or 4 answers, and from the 3 or 4 you will choose the correct one. All questions in the examination paper are from the material provided by IOEL. On the administrative part of the examination, dear students, take note that the timetable must be issued to students way before the exam starts, so that students know when to prepare for which subject. Because without the timetable, you might be sitting there thinking that you will be writing Policing Law 1B, maybe the first. Now that subject ends up being the last one on your timetable, meaning that instead of studying the first subjects, now you will be studying the last one. So to avoid this type of confuses, obtain your timetable so that you know where, when, and on what date you write your examination. Consult IOL officers for those administrative details and not the tutor. Because even Monday, I had students that was asking me on issues of examination or submitting of the assignment on the portal. And students are saying that all the offices or the offices closest to them are closed in the regions, and once they are calling, they don't get Windhoek. But unfortunately, I don't even have a number of Windhoek because I don't call them. And I don't work here, so please make sure that you call the office way before time and sort out these issues while there is still time. Because if the exam draws closer and you don't have a timetable, you will panic. And the panic will cause you not to even remember anything you studied. Remember to carry enough pens. At least for your examination, have 2 pens. Once you go to the exam venue, carry 2 pens at least, because if that pen of yours runs out of ink or stop working for any other reason, you might be sitting there stressing because you will not be allowed to leave the examination venue to collect a pen or buy a pen and come back. No, that will not happen. So let me warn you for you to say, bring enough pens, and then there's no need for you to run out. The other important thing is your student card and your ID. My dear, the person that will be the invigilator at that venue, okay, fine. Luckily, nowadays you don't have the need for carrying student cards, what. But even if you come and write at the sender, before you enter the sender venue, because sometimes it's a fact that all of us don't have computers at home. So you opted that, I'm staying in Windhoek, why should I go and borrow somebody's laptop instead of just jumping a taxi, go to IOL resource center, and then I take my exam there? That you can do. But for you to be allowed here by the securities to come and write the exam, you will be required to say, okay, you said you are coming here for your exam. Where's your student card? Where's your ID? In the absence of this, the securities even will not allow you to come and write. So be mindful on those type of small details. Read all the topics in your study guide for the preparation of multiple choice questions, fill in missing and true and false questions. Study hard for the examination to avoid disappointment. Know the procedure of handling of firearm during handing over at the shooting range, as well as functions of the force. Now, for you to prepare for your assignment and the examination, as I said, you need to look at the functions of the force. Sometimes they can say list any 5, list any 2. Sometimes they will say list and discuss. Sometimes they will say discuss the functions of the force, provide examples of the directorates that deals with that function, because there is delegation of that mandate within the directorates, like the criminal investigation unit deals with investigation function. The safety and security part of the internal security is dealt with by other directorates like Special Field Force, Special Branch. The maintenance of law and order, you can find the operations directorates and other uniform members like that. So they might say, discuss the functions of the force, or specific reference to the directorates that deals with that specific function, and provide practical example and say 20 points. Now you name the function, you discuss what it is, you provide the directory that deals with that function, and then you give a practical example. So on each 5, if you give 4, it's already 20. The procedure of handling a firearm during handing over at the shooting range. Now when you are at the shooting range, you get instructions to step forward to the line. You will get instructions how to handle the firearm on that specific moment. Once you are done, you get instructions to step back. Once you step back, there will be certain instructions on how you safeguard your firearm, not to cause unnecessary injuries to others. And now you will return to the officer in charge or the officer commanding that shooting range, all the firearms. So know those procedures. When dealing with firearm in the charge office or wherever, when you are on duty, you are given a firearm, there are specific procedures that you need to know. when and how you should book out a firearm. So all this you need to know. Once it comes to arrest, the lawful arrest of a citizen, there is always that procedure that you need to follow and the specific requirements why you arrest somebody. And if you arrest somebody, there is that requirements of search. You know, our Criminal Procedure Act provides for how a person should be searched. Women should be searched by women only, and all those. So once you are dealing with search, you must be mindful. You are interfering with somebody's privacy. So there are specific requirements that should be kept, so you need to know of them. You need to know when to search somebody. So students need to spend time and thoroughly read the following topics in preparation for the assignment and examination. Read on any material on City of Windhoek Police, articles on how a person in custody should be treated. Now, an inmate in custody, there are instances where they need to go to court. They need to go to hospital. So the procedures with regard to the treatment of such person when it goes to hospital should be discussed. There is specific situations on where they stay should be cleaned. They must be provided with the necessary equipment to clean themselves as well as the place where they stay. When they are sick, there are certain procedures to be followed. Those people, when they are at home, maybe they don't have even porridge to eat in the morning. But when they are in custody, there are specific responsibilities of the government to give these people food. And there are certain procedures that should be followed on giving them food. There are specific times that they need to eat and all this. So you need to be mindful of that. The process of arrest and how such persons should be treated, and the information that needs to be recorded in your investigation diary. Know the procedure of handling firearms during handing over circumstances of lawful arrest, as we said. So make sure that your student number is correctly written, if possible. Nowadays, if it's the online exam, if your student number is not correct, you will not even enter the paper. So know your student number. If it's like a re-exam and maybe they requested you to do an exam on hard copy, sometimes some students might not access these online systems, and maybe the institution will make some relaxes on how the exam should be taken. Be mindful of that. Read instructions carefully and ensure you know what is required before you start writing. Do not dive into writing over the first reading, the entire paper. Students tend to answer wrong questions and lose valuable marks. Answer questions in the correct sequence as they are in the question paper. Sometimes you will find that two different questions, question 1 and 2 sounds the same. And I experience myself many a times that students are getting confused of the way questions are put, and then they might provide the same answer for 2 or 3 different questions, especially when you are dealing with the searching, the arrest procedures. There are similar procedures that differ slightly, and students tend to confuse themselves when they are requested to deal with those questions. If this happens, questions should be clearly marked to avoid confusion. You are not permitted to take any form of notes. Now, on this part, we, the tutors, are under an obligation from the institution to report any form of plagiarism. If we detected that students are plagiarizing, we need to report to the institution so that the institution deal with the students. That we are under obligation to do. So don't take chances. If you don't want to lose your money that you pay for IOL for this year, make sure that you summarize and not make yourself guilty of plagiarism. Plan how much time you will need to give to each question in order to save time. My dear, if you don't allocate time to your questions. You might lose out. You are having 5 questions. Maybe if you give each and every question 20 minutes. Now, once you are dealing with 20 minutes, you know that question 1, I allocate 20 minutes. Now I'm writing, and the 20 minutes pass, and I realize that there are still information. Now, what do you do? Are you proceeding to the next one, proceeding to the other one? Once you are done and you look at your time, you come back. Look at that one, play with it. Plan your time wisely and write quickly and neatly. Once you are doing it online, you don't need to copy and paste, you must type. Because copy and paste is bringing you some difficulties. Because the moment when plagiarism is detected, you will be losing out, getting 0. This should ensure you to finish on time. Please take note that mark allocation is very much important. Now, if you are dealing with a question that only counts 5 marks, don't come and type the whole page. So consider your mark allocation when you are dealing with the questions. All the best of your assignment, and I hope when it comes to your examination in April, May, you will be very much knowledgeable from this course, and that IOEL will be proud on you when you are receiving your results. Any questions, issues that is not clear in this presentation with regard to your assignment, with regard to your examination preparation, feel free to contact me and we sort out whatever issue is there. But be mindful that I don't entertain administrative queries like how to access portal. When I accessed the portal, I was logged out. Unfortunately, I'm not on that. So be mindful of that. I thank you.